What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? There you go. The
Mr.
big
Lee.
homie. I'm all right. How you?
I'm good. I'm good. What's going on, brother?
Man, I can't complain, man. Can't complain. You
Good
still
to hear.
working?
Good to hear.
You still working or you done for the day?
Nah, I'm done for the day, but I'm at home just checking on some stuff. Trying to make sure the rest of the week, well, this weekend is set up. So, but everything's good.
All right. Well, definitely appreciate you, man, taking the time out to come, man. I know people want to hear what you got going on and, just hear your story. So we give them a couple seconds, let the followers, let them jump in here real quick, man. But
You
what
got
you
it. Take
working
your
on?
time.
What you working on right now?
Small projects. Me and my partner got a couple projects going on. One on Lehigh Avenue, one on Tacoma that we're wrapping up. I just started a project down in Brewery Town on Oxford. So little things all over the place. We're just trying to make it happen.
New construction or?
Nah, so I do got a new construction project that I got to wrap as well on Germantown Avenue, but the other projects are renovations. Lehigh Avenue is a large-scale renovation, 4 apartments plus an event space coming soon, and Oxford Street is just a single-family home.
Congratulations, I saw that.
Thank you, appreciate it.
No problem, no problem. Yeah, I just wrapped up one of my flips. The one I was doing that I started right before COVID hit. So man, that thing was definitely was a rumble. I ain't know, none of us knew what the situation was going to be, but it came together, man. That thing is beautiful. We're gonna list it on Monday. We already got people like other agents that hit me up about trying to get a preview. So I'm trying to, do I take an offer if it come in before, or do I wait?
I mean, if you're anything like me, I take the first thing smoking, brother. First offer is usually the best offer. So
right, I hear that. Then you end up with some crazy stuff with the next one.
Yeah, I mean, if I take very first offer, I negotiate a little bit. If they come in close to full price, I try to get them as close to it as possible. If they negotiate a little, I give them a little assist or take away some assist. But for the most part, first offer that comes in for me, gone. So
okay, all right. Well, then I'm gonna sit tight then, because I definitely got she definitely won it. That's the thing. She done brought the uncle through and the cousin through to get that approval.
See ya. Listen, man, full price offer. Hasta la vista. That's it.
All right. Well, definitely we getting up there with the followers, man. But definitely thank everybody for tuning in, man. So if you can, just introduce yourself, let the people know who you are.
Man, I'm a small guy in a big pond, man. Darren Hardiman, owner of Hardiman Property Group, business partner, Hardiman Hall Acquisitions LLC, H2 Events soon to come. I'm gonna say it as much as I can during this interview, but I mean, small developer, little guy trying to make it big. That's all.
Nah, so I appreciate you being humble, but at the same token, a little guy making big waves though. So I mean, can we talk about like your beginning journey? Like when you first got started, what were you doing when you first got started?
Oh,
were you a realtor? Were you flipping?
My start in real estate is such a tattered past. I was actually, so my start in real estate came out of necessity, I guess. I was working as a probation officer this 2006 to like 2008. I got in real estate late 07, early 08, right before the market tanked. So I was just getting in. I was selling real estate as an agent. There was a lot going on at the time. I was actually doing pretty well, but I was doing a little bit of wholesaling back then. Not very much, but just helping buyers.
Okay.
I got a few sales, started to see kind of how things worked out. I started getting a couple of investor clients, and then I realized that I was on the wrong side of the table. So after those investors started cashing those checks, I was like, I don't know if this sales agent thing is for me. I don't really know if this is where I'm supposed to be.
Right.
I want to say early 2009, I did my first flip.
In the recession?
Yeah, in the recession. I actually made the most money I've ever made in a recession. So, I mean, that's always been the case. Like even right now, I tell my friends and I talk to people all the time, like this pandemic, it's like a make it or break it season. There's been a lot of things that have been happening that I've been coming across, a lot of deals that we've been walking into just based on the sign of the times. So there's a lot of people who are timid, as am I. There's a lot of things that I stay away from. I'm just not jumping on everything, but there's been some good deals that have come my way that are going to change the trajectory of, you know, the future of my business.
Okay.
So we're making money and doing it. But I mean, we're being cautious as well. We're not just going out there wild, going ape shit. We're trying to make sure that we're making smart decisions. And I've always been very careful in the things that I do. So we've been doing a little bit and it's working out. So, I mean, just like going back to the original thing, like back in 08, 09, I was making a little bit of money. It was working out, but I was also working like a slave. I mean, I was working as a probation officer. I was flipping houses. I was a supervisor at CVS. Like I was doing anything to make sure
you was hustling to get the coins up to get in the game.
Indeed, because that first flip, it doesn't come easy. So the first flip, it took all the cash I had, and it worked out. That was me taking a risk with every dime. I think I might have had like $17,000 and spent it all getting my deal going. I walked away with like 44 in the end, and it was like half that money was spent before the check cleared. So it worked out. Overall, you know, you go through those learning things where you make money, you spend it fast, but now I'm just in a different place where I can make it and keep a little bit of it.
There you go. So let's talk about that a little bit, because we talked about that last week with Auntie Aisha about, you could get into real estate and really get a bag, but then that bag could become a hindrance to you because you got used to this lifestyle inflation. And now, like, man, I could go cop this car. I could go get that Rollie. I could go do this.
Yeah,
when this bills start running up more than the money start coming that time. Because like you said, like, imagine not even just COVID, but just a slow period in your business. I feel like all the hunters right now that's winning because they didn't stop when stuff was slow. So now that COVID then kicked in, they really it's my last 3 weeks have been bananas.
Right. So I mean, the money can become a hindrance, but I think I went through that phase early. Like right now, I'm going on 11 years in real estate. So I wasted a lot of money when I was young. I wasted a lot of money in my early to mid 20s. And and things really started to grow for me in the last 5-6 years. So in the last 5-6 years, I'm 29, 30 years old. Well, 5-6 years ago, I was 31 years old. So I had been through a lot of different things, been through a lot of money, been through a lot of different situations, ups, downs, you name it, I did it. I mean, but at the same time, I'm a guy that doesn't get attached to anything. So I think right now I'm living in my 5th house or 6th house, my personal home, because nothing matters. Like I'm buying, I'm selling, I'm moving.
There's no emotional
attachment to anything. Not real estate anyway.
Right. If it makes sense, it makes sense.
Right. And my broker calls me with every house that I've ever lived in and asks me what my walkaway number is. And I always have one. So this one might be a little different because it's not just my decision, but I still have a walkaway number. I just got to get it approved by the boss.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right, management.
But there's a walkaway number in sight. You know what I mean? If it comes my way, I'm gonna go start negotiating real hard to see what's next. But you make money. I think that the biggest thing now is that I'm making money and I'm just putting it into more real estate, putting it into deals that are going to help me to further, my business, my future, and secure the bag for my family, because that's what we're all doing it for, right?
Right.
I want to be successful. I want to be able to live a decent life. I want to be able to take care of my family. So in knowing all that and kind of moving into that mode, the money's not getting spent like it used to, right? It's not being spent irresponsibly. We're spending it because, we're buying, we're doing things that are going to help us grow, but it's
in the recycle form versus just going out the window form.
Yeah. Then we got some rent checks coming in. We got some things happening that are on a positive side for us.
Right.
A close friend of mine, my business partner, told me that the money was in the hood, and I went to the hood to get it. So he actually forced me to go into the hood, and it's been working out.
So let's talk about that in regards to the investment strategy for you. So you enjoy being in the hood. You enjoy buying in areas that are, not as desirable just yet.
Yeah. So, my first project my first big project was on Germantown Avenue. So Germantown is heating up now, and people are buying up everything. There's big construction all around. I mean, Stam, I'm right around the corner from me. Stam just built 50 units, 17 in one location, 33 in another. I mean, I'm building like 9 on one block, but I'm a small fish. So, but now we're starting to see things happen. When I bought this property back in 2013, it was nothing. It was just like, you know, what are you doing up there? Why are you buying it? I paid $22,000 for it. But now, you know, our valuation is like 700 and things are changing. So, I mean, I'm always willing to go into a place, but I'm not the biggest speculator of them all. I mean, there's just things that about communities that I like. You know, I want to invest in the communities that I live and work in. So that's kind of how I ended up in Germantown. I was living in Germantown, loved the culture, and I bought into it based on where I wanted to be and where I wanted to see Germantown go. I had no idea that Germantown was going to turn into what it is today, but it was just an investment vehicle based on my comfortability level. So that's kind of how I structure all of my deals. I go where I'm comfortable, and I go where the deals take me. So I was down in Brewerytown a few years ago. We did some stuff in South Philly a long time ago. I mean, I'll go wherever the money is. So, but I kind of stay in that Northwest corridor. But now just kind of venturing out, like Lehigh Avenue, that was bought to me by a wholesaler. Wholesaler bought it my way, and initially I didn't want to buy it. My partner was like, yo, I think we got to do it. And it turned out to be a good decision. So I give him a lot of credit for that, because I was definitely on the fence. Like, listen, man, I don't know about Germantown.
You might be pushing it, buddy.
They shooting them up every day around there. It's gunshots while we in construction, brother. But the values came back. So there's a lot of things I can't really fight with. And for me, I wouldn't have went at all. But, you know, that's me not being a speculator. That's me not forecasting in areas where I don't really go. But sometimes, you know, you got to do what you got to do.
But that, and the thing I don't think people might have paid attention to is that you have a support system and a confidant that you bounce ideas off of. So, like, you almost talked yourself out of the opportunity versus he talked you back into the opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, so we are like the yin and yang in our business relationship. He does a whole lot that I just wouldn't, right? So he pushes me in directions where it's just like, yo, I'm really going for this. And some deals, he's like, yo, what you think about it? And I think we should do it. And I can kind of like, not right now. We ain't going that direction. But there's some deals where he's like, yo, we're doing it. Like, I'm signing documentation. It's happening. Whether you're in or you're out, it's getting done.
Right.
And some of those deals, they get done and they work out. So it's definitely a great partnership. I think it's good to have somebody who's got your back. And then a lot of things with me, I spend a lot more money than necessary on a lot of projects, right? I said it when I was talking to Lauren in our interview. I spend more money than a lot of people. I make a little less, but we make money nonetheless, right? We get our projects done a lot faster. We get our projects done with far more efficiency, effectiveness. We don't get a lot of callbacks. We do what we got to do, but we spend a little money to accomplish that goal. So that's just part of the system.
But
he dials it back. Yeah, he dials it back though. Like, I'm like, yo, we're gonna spend $20,000 on this, $18,000 on that. He's like, listen, we could spend 12 on this. We could probably spend like 14 on that. We can.
It's within reason. He's gonna let you live, but it's within reason.
Right, within reason. He's always watching the bottom line. I'm doing the same thing, but he's like eagle eye on it.
Right.
And it helps, and it helps in a big way because, you know, I overestimate, underestimate. I'm not the best estimator of all time. I know how to get the projects done though. So when it comes down to the come down,
you take action though, and then he do the analytics, and it like you said, the yin and the yang, and that works out great.
Indeed.
What would you say in regards to people just starting out? Like, a lot of the people I talk to are like, yo, I never did none of this before. Like, I just want to get in the game. I'm about to use this 10 grand and start flipping, or, you know, buy all these houses in my LLC. And I try to tell them, like, it's a process to it. You got to start where you are, kind of thing, before you get to any of the other stuff.
Well, see, I'm really like twofold with people that are coming into the business, because for me, I really want to know why they're getting in business, right? So real estate.
Talk about that.
Real estate is a business. So when somebody comes to me and they're like, listen, this is what I want to do, I want to know why. Like, are you doing it just for the money, or you're doing it for the love of the business? Because when you're doing it just for the money, you're going to run into a lot of booby traps. You're going to realize that this is, in fact, a business. It's a job. It's something that you got to you know, be into. You got to go every single day and try to make it happen. This ain't like a run of the mill. I'm just going to go make a quick couple bands and it's over. That's just not how the business works. That's not how it panned out for me. That's not how it panned out for a lot of people I know. But money is a part of it, right? So anything that you do well, you can make money from. So coming in, a lot of people come to me and I don't really do any mentoring. I don't really do any of that because I find a lot of people that come to me aren't serious. I've gained and grown with a lot of people. I've made a lot of friends in the business that I didn't know, that I wouldn't have known had I not been in business. And they've been great relationships, but they're relationships that work because we got the same drive. We got the same idea, the ideologies that we share, the moral compass as well. Because there's a lot of shadiness in this business as well that you just got to kind of fight through.
I always say this business is one of the businesses where you can literally do not illegal, but be doing dirt the way you do it, and it's legal in the real estate business.
Real estate is like drug dealing, man. It's as cutthroat as anything else. You can get hurt. We all got attorneys. We all got general counsel. We all got a bunch of different things to protect us from one another.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, when you're starting out small, I mean, the biggest thing is save as much as possible, do as much research as possible, talk to as many people as possible. A lot of the information that people are giving out is free. You have to be learned. You got to want to learn the business, want to kind of do the work, because it's not gonna just come to you. It's not gonna be like, I got $10,000, I can go make it all happen, right? You need some guidance in using that 10,000 to do anything. When I started out, 10,000 wasn't enough. I mean, my first house was a flip because I was buying a personal home.
Okay.
You know what I mean, so that's just kind of how it worked out for me. And as a matter of fact, it wasn't even my first house that was a flip. It was my second, because my first house I still own. It's now a rental, but I moved into that, did some of the work myself, had friends help me, and then I moved back in with my mom. Then I did a flip. And then from that flip, I moved again and started buying houses to living on my own. So it's something to do. I would say first, secure your own place. If I was starting out with $10,000 today, as opposed to when I started out, I would buy a duplex, or at least try. Make sure your credit is straight, because with $10,000, you can go to a hard money lender and get something popping. I don't know if it's going to be where you want to be or what you want to be in, but you'll get in something. And then from there, you grow.
Right. You could roll FHA all day with that 10 grand.
Yeah, depending on how you want to live, where you want to live. I mean, I think a lot of people that are coming into real estate, they want to be at the top. They want to be at the end. They want to be Aisha Selden today. Like, she didn't start yesterday. She didn't start 3 weeks ago. She's been in business and getting busy for a long time. Like, people look at me now like, you're successful and it's an overnight thing. Like, this is 10 years in the making, 11 years in the making. I've been out here for a very long time before anybody knew me.
Right.
So
struggling, fighting, getting it through with the good and the bad.
Right. I'm still doing it now. We still struggling and fighting and pushing things through. We got a little more money now, but we still doing the same old things. You know what I mean?
Right. But you're a lot wiser. I would say you're a lot wiser. You're fixing problems a lot easier now.
Yeah, because I got a system and I got a team. So I don't have anyone that works for me directly at all. I don't know that I'll have that anymore. I don't think you need it. I think I could use that and get my costs down, but in terms of me running a system and having one person that does each individual thing, for me, I'm spending a little more. I'm probably 10-12% over everybody that I know that's doing the same exact projects, but I'm probably 30 to 40% faster. So I'm not carrying a note as long. I'm not holding my deals as long. We're still getting it done, and I'm bringing other people in. So I'm bringing in, like, my designer. She's better at designing than me and a lot of other people. So bring her in, and I hassle her. We fuss, we fight, we argue, but the end result is an awesome project, and people like what they see. So I spent a little bit more, but we haven't held a property for more than 2 weeks in 5 or 6 years.
On the market, on
the market. So, you know, we get it done. I mean, some of the projects that we've done from start to finish have been 6 weeks. From closing day, demo day, to being back on the market, 6 weeks.
That's people in there humping, getting it done. Getting it done.
Like, for instance, we started a project last week. We started demolition on Monday. They finished on Wednesday. Nobody worked over the weekend. So from Thursday to Sunday, it was empty. We started this Monday, framing. Saturday, we're done. Next week, plumbing, electric, HVAC. By the end of that week, we've already ordered it. By the end of that week, we'll already order kitchen, windows, drywall's coming, installation schedule. So I'm trying to go 45 days in and out of a project and get it on the market.
That's from purchase, rehab, and to sell. 45
No, purchase, days. Rehab to get on the market. So it's not going to be sold in 45 days.
Okay, but on the market.
If it was, but from start to finish, we're going to be at like 45 days. And if we hit 60, great, because it's not going to make us one. It's not going to make me one way or the other. But in 60 days, we got a viable product that we can put out and say, this is what we're doing. And we already have people now, because there's people on the block, there's people driving by. They're interested in the project. I don't know what that's going to turn into because it's far too soon. Right. It might be ugly when it's done to them. I don't know. But when we get through it, I mean, we're going to have a decent product to put out. We're going to have people that are interested, and I think we'll make something of it.
So how did you build your team? Can we talk about that? Like, what's one of the ways that helped you get your
for me, I like to say it was all me. I like to say it was all me, but it was luck, man. I mean, I built a team based on other relationships. I mean, I've called anyone. I called an old friend of mine, hey, I need an electrician, end up with an electrician. I get a plumber from somebody. And then the people that I work with in business, the people that I talk to, I mean, every trade is a tool, right? Okay. So it's like calling and saying, listen, I need a hammer. And they give me an electrician. Okay. Oh, well, now, I need a screwdriver, and they send over a plumber. So all of these things, they start working together. Now we build relationships where we bounce people off one another. Then some people just work for me, and they work for a small grouping of other people. But it's all relationship based. So, I mean, everybody that comes my way, I treat them right. They treat me right. They get paid. We're all happy. We work together, and it's continuous. But when we're pumping out product, it's all because, we got the same idea. The tradesmen that I work with, they're good at what they do. They love what they do. So they do it well, right? So we don't have to go back a million times. Oh, you didn't do this right on the plumbing. You didn't do this right on the HVAC. And the light switches aren't working. Whatever it is, we're going through, we're fact checking. We're checking everything twice before we start closing things up. But once it's closed up, we're out of there. And then the designer comes in and she does what she does. I mean, she's created her own name based on a lot of the stuff that she's put out. And I'm riding that name to the bank. So if she puts it out there, it's gonna sell.
Right. But that's dope. And like I said, that's cool of you because it's like you said, it don't gotta be your name on the forefront because you're working with her, it's still your product. But look, people see her, they kind of know her signature, and it's like it's
and I'm stealing the credit at the end anyway from everybody. I'm stealing the credit from my team, I'm stealing the credit from her, I'm stealing the credit from everybody.
So can we? People keep asking. Can we ask who your designer is?
L&W Interior Concepts. I work with Lauren. I've been working with Lauren now for, I don't know, probably 4 years. I mean, if I've known her, maybe about 4 years. I've been working with Lauren. 4, maybe 5.
So when you posted that a while back, I did. Well, not steal her, but she charged me for the consultant fee. We worked together, and I was like, "Yo, whatever you be doing to Darren's houses, I need you to hook me up. I need some of that in my house. Hook me up."
Yeah, I mean, it works. She knows what she knows, and then there's really no fighting back on it. It's like I go to her and I argue. I was just arguing with her today. Because I want to move at light speed. And she's like, look, I got a process. You're going to follow the process or you ain't going to work with me. And I'm like, I'll see you tomorrow. You're going to do what I want you to do. But she's going to do it at her own time. It's going to get done. It's going to be successful. But, she's got to do her own thing. It's like she's got her own creative process, and I just got to respect it. But you better believe I'm trying to crack the whip on her, too. And then I'm going to say I did it. So everything that she picked, at that closing table, you better believe I'm getting there like, that was all me. That was all me. I had to approve everything. So
no, man, that's what's up, man. That's definitely what's up. What about some of, I guess, the systems? Like, what's some of the systems, if we can ask, like that maybe help you run everything fluidly? Like, are you some people I talk to, they're like, yo, I'm using maybe this app or I'm using this.
Yeah, I like to say I have one. I actually need to put a system in place, but I'm actually out here running around like Rain Man.
Okay.
Listen, it's every single project is in my head. Nothing's on paper. I mean, I had a productivity coach at one point saying, you got to start writing it down. You got to put it on paper. I'm calling my partner like, yo, did this get done? Did that get done? Or I'm calling them and saying, yo, we did this, we did that. This is where we are today. This is where we're going. I don't have a system in place. I'm truly just like, I'm thinking of everything all the time. I'm literally day to day, all night, all day, bothering my fiance in the house. Listen, I got to do this. And she's like, what
You
are you
talk in your sleep too?
I don't talk in my sleep,
The real
but I
estate,
don't
you know,
sleep very much
my
either.
wife, when I do sleep, my wife, she be like, yo, like, what are you talking about? Like, she's like, I hear you talking about paint and tile in your sleep.
I live and breathe this business. I mean, I love it. This is what I want to do every single day, all day. I would do it for free, but I don't have to. So, I mean, I've lucked up in the sense that I don't have to do it for free. But yeah, I mean, I don't have a specific system in place. I mean, I have a process that says, you know, things happen from 1 through 10.
Right.
And as long as they're going in that order, then things are fine. When something goes awry, I've been through the thick enough where I can kind of put things back on track. And I've got the people behind me. So I kind of got it in order that way, but I don't have a system. I don't have like, I use this app or I use this. I don't use anything.
I got you.
I absolutely use nothing. I use people.
I got you. So now I've been trying to not lose, like try to get the organization part. So like I just started using Trello. It's a free app that I can like stay organized at least and add people into the board. So I'm like, I mean, you know, but I'm still trying to learn that and then see if there's anything else that's better or just simpler because I hate all this stuff.
Right. So
I think
it would be wise. I think it's wise for anybody that can manage a system. Like I was in sales before and I couldn't use Salesforce. I'm not in sales anymore. Right.
Okay.
So I'm gone and Salesforce just wasn't one of those things for me. So with me, it's like, I'm really sitting here like, all right, as I'm getting ready for this call, I was just going through the budget on my project. So I got a budget tracker. I got every single thing. So every dime that I spend on each project goes into my budget tracker. And then I track that against the actual budget on sheet 1. That's the only system that I have is a budget and a budget tracker. But other than that, it's like, all right, I know that they're going to be done framing on Saturday. So on Monday, I got the stair guy coming out to get my measurements. On Sunday, I got my finished carpenters coming out. They're going to help me out with all the measurements for the windows throughout the property so I can order those Sunday evening. The window company will get them on Monday and get those on the way to us, right?
Right.
Then Monday, I got HVAC starting. Wednesday, we got electrical starting. Right. Next Friday, over the weekend, into Tuesday, I'm going to have plumbing getting all roughed in. And then next Thursday, maybe Friday, depending on how things schedule out, I got an installation coming. And then that following Monday, I got a drywall delivery. So knowing that my schedule is what I just told you, I'm pushing every trade to hit their benchmark.
Okay.
So that I can continue the circle. And I make sure that all my trades understand that their payment is based on their performance. So it's like, I need you to get done in this time so that you can get payment so that I can go on to the next person. So, but I want everybody to get paid. So everybody's got this 7-day lag period where if one doesn't do what they're supposed to do, you're going to push the next person off. You push the next person off, it's going to be longer for you to get your payment. So we're all running together.
You do let them know that.
Oh, everybody knows that from the beginning. But now these are people that I've been working with for years. So everybody knows like, all right, well, let's get in. I just got a new HVAC guy, but he's awesome. I mean, he's been coming in, beating and meeting all expectations. So like it's like, all right, well, we got him. He's faster than these other guys. So we're going to scrap them. He's doing a great job. So we're going to keep him. And we're just going to keep him busy. And then everybody that calls me, I'm recommending them too. So from the recommendations I'm giving him, he's making money. From me, he's making money. So now he's like, all right, well, it's time. Let me go run through this project, make sure it's right so we can continue forward.
So can we talk about that just a little bit about the payment part? Because I know a lot of people get sucked up in the contractors losing money because a lot of them want a lot of the money up front or the half payment and stuff like that.
That's really not the way I work. I don't give deposits. So I stopped giving deposits many years ago. I don't see the purpose of it. And that's another reason why I spend more money, because the people that can afford to carry a project on their own with their own money, they cost a little more as well.
Okay.
And essentially, they're going to go buy the material. There's a little bit of overhead on their material. So they're charging me to buy the material up front, which is fine. Because when you're buying the material,
they want to get it done faster to get
absolutely,
their bread back. So
absolutely.
I see what you did there. I see
Yes.
it.
So it's holding everybody accountable, basically. Listen, you go spend your $4,000 or $5,000 to get started, and if you don't finish, then whatever. Like, I'm in no rush. I gave you no money. But it also keeps the contractor keeps the owner ahead of the contractor, right? Whenever the owner gets behind a contractor, then you got to try to play catch up, but then they can walk away, they can drag their feet, they can take their time, and then you start throwing good money after bad. So now you're trying to do all these different things when you call someone else in that could have done the job for you, might have cost you a little bit more and carried the project.
Twice.
Now they're like, oh, well, he didn't do it right. He didn't do this right. He didn't do that right. And there's no one that's going to come in and be like, wow, this is a perfect job. Let me just throw my stamp on it and finish up. They're going to say there's some stuff wrong, and you're going to end up paying for things that you don't have to.
Right.
So it's also partially because of, my name now, that people understand that they're going to get paid no matter what the situation is. I've paid people to go away, right? It's like, we had a bad experience. I'm having an experience with someone that we work with for the first time now. Probably the last time we worked together, but we'll get through it. But it's an experience. It's like, all right, you made some money, cool. Shake his hand, tell him where the pitfalls were, and maybe we'll do business in the future, but we're not going to do business again. Not right now. Because with what we have going on with the system that we're running, not the system, but with the speed and the things that have to get done for us,
he don't fit.
He doesn't fit into the mold. So, but in order to try new people, you got to put a new cog in the wheel, see if it works. It didn't work. But these are all things where it's just trial and error. I mean, it's been years. My partner actually brought someone new into the fold. This is probably the first person I've worked with that was new, aside from the HVAC guy whose work I saw and kind of wanted to steal him. But probably the first new person in 4 or 5 years, because I'm rocking with the same exact crew all the time. If they start going up, I'm going to start paying a little more. But I'm doing what needs to be done for me to be successful, for my team to be successful, for everybody to win. So I'm just eating it.
So can you share maybe, like, during this process, you said you've been in the business for about 11 years now.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, how did you keep going? Because, like, we were just talking, like, yo, you're going to have some good, you're going to have some bad. But, like, during them bad times, like, what's some of the things that helped you keep going and push through to get to, like, now, like you said, things are flowing again. Like, it really wasn't that bad.
I mean,
but when you was in it, you felt like the world was coming to an end.
Oh, no. So, but that's another thing. I mean, it's also just having support, having people. I mean, for me, anybody who knows me knows, like, I came from nothing, right? I'm willing to put it all on the line, every penny of it. I've been poor. I ain't scared to go back. Fuck it. Let's just make it happen. I put out every nickel. So, but the one thing that kind of helped me out, I mean, I had to borrow money from friends before. I had to say, yo, like, I'm in this deal. I'm 15,000 down. Like, I'm gonna fix it. But here's where I am today. And I had people that lent me the money. Listen, get back to me when you get back to me. And then as soon as things start coming back, look, here's your money. For a long time, I didn't even know about hard money. I didn't even know where to get money. I was just doing everything on credit cards and whatever I could pull off a card. And yeah, then I learned. So now, I mean, a lot of stuff we're going to start going away from hard money, but we're going into more conventional things. But I mean, I think the biggest thing to keep going is me understanding that there was no plan B, right? I came into this business, and when I quit my job, because I worked all the way until 2015. So I don't want it to be like I was 10 years in business solo. As an entrepreneur, independent, I wasn't. So I got out of college in 2005. I worked from 2006 to 2015. From 2006 to 2011, I didn't make a bunch of money, but then I went to the newspaper and advertising, and I did make a bunch of money. So I always had, like, I was doing flips, I was making money there, but then I was working a job, and I was making money at my job. So kept my job for as long as I could. Like, there's no way that I was going to walk away from a steady paycheck when I didn't really understand the landscape of what I was getting myself into.
Right. So but I think there was another gem in that story, is that, look, you jumped out there and you were figuring it out, but at the same token, you kept your foundation solid.
Oh, absolutely.
In a sense that you weren't too prideful or trying to just get, like you said, get to the end from the start. Like you stayed down and just kept pumping. Like, yo, I know I'm getting out of here. I just need a little more time.
Right. Well, that's one of the, so me and my business partner and a lot of other people, my business partner, and he's awesome in a million ways because he's one of the guys who knows that in working with me, because I think I'm a type A personality. I try to dial it back, but I'm probably type A personality where I gotta have control. I gotta have somebody who's gonna ride with me, who's gonna support me and check me sometimes. But it's like our relationship is just that. So he's like, he'll explain it to anybody. But in working with me, you got to be okay taking a back seat. And it's not because I want all to shine, right? But it's because I have a system and it's got to go one way. Like he pulls a lot of things back. Yo, like we ain't doing that. We ain't hiring this person. We ain't going that direction. We off that. But he's not like, he don't got to be at the forefront. Nobody even has to know who he is. He's just there, right?
Okay.
But he's in the background where it's like, yo, I need this, I need that, or somebody's not showing up on time, or they're fucking up, and he's like, yo, all right, well, good, you go make this call, I'm gonna go over this way. And then when it comes down to the money, it's like, all right, well, go call him, because we talked last week, call him, and he ain't answering the phone, he ain't worried about nobody, he ain't talking to him. But it's that good cop bad cop that kind of helps things. But I mean, there's so many different things that it takes to work with me, to be around me, to kind of keep going. And I see Lauren talking all the trash she can talk. But yeah, I am an asshole. That's probably true. In business, I think that I'm a totally different person. And I've said it to a million people, and I'll say it a million times over, that my friendships are my friendships, but in business it's totally different. And that goes for everybody. Right. Like me and my partner, we don't argue about a bunch of different things in life or in business at all, but we do argue about paint colors. We argue about who selected this tile, whether it was stolen from somebody else or we got it. We were in the, like, we argue about those things, but that's just like the competitiveness between us. Right. Me and Lauren argue about, I guess we just argue because I be trying to steal her ideas too, but I also think that I'm a designer when I'm not. A lot of my ideas are like, I think they're good. Some of them are terrible. So, but that's just, me in business. But I'm open. I'm sharing. I'm trying to make sure that everybody wins.
In the process,
in the process, of course. Like this, and that's just even my friends. I mean, we're arguing about everything. I like to argue. Period. I'm arguing about stuff that I know I'm wrong about. I'm cool with it.
But you're not gonna let them know that.
No. I mean, they'll know eventually. Because at some point, it's just like, all right, I was wrong. I don't say that a lot, even when I'm wrong. But
okay,
yeah, I get there.
Okay, well, nah, man, that's dope, man. I remember I told you before, like, yo, I always loved your work. I see what you're doing, man, and it's like, I'm trying to get there. I'm figuring it out. So I think it's definitely good to just hear, like, yo, you done been through the struggles too. It's just a matter of
absolutely
just staying at it and just not doubting yourself in that process that, yo, you're going to figure it out. And look, bumps happen, but just keep pumping it.
Yeah, and when you're doing a deal, I think just to make sure that I'm answering the question, how did I continue forward when things got tough, or when, there was a rocky road? When I'm buying a deal, you make your money on the front end, right? And this was reinforced by a lot of the bigger players that I know in business that I've met over time. You make your money when you purchase. You will not, by any means, make your money afterward, right? So you buy a property, you make sure that your profit margin's in it up front. You have to buy right, because you can buy a property and spend $500,000 in that property, but it's where it is, right? So it's only worth 150. Now you're upside down. Right. So when I'm purchasing my property, I'm making money on purchase. So I don't source deals very well. I was actually just talking to Reek about that yesterday, and he was getting on me like, you start sourcing your deals yet? And I don't. Like, I don't source very well at all. I'm just not that great at it. But the deals that do come my way, I analyze them properly. Right? Okay. This is what it's going to take me to fix. This is how long it's going to take it to get done. This is what my spread is. It's not enough spread. We're going to pass on that deal. There's a lot of that going on. And understanding it, it's like, all right, well, in purchasing this deal for, somebody wants 90, I want to be at 70, but they know I'm a serious buyer, right? So I'm offering 70 and I'm not bullshitting them. We can close it in 2 weeks. We can get it done. We can get it back turned out on the market. And because people see it, they see it happening. They know, like, all right, well, he said he can do it. He can do it. 2 weeks later, they got a check and we're moving forward. So that's a part of, the power of, having a little bit of influence and a little bit of a name. But other than that, I mean, I put everything into it. I put my heart and soul into it. I think that's why people like the outcome. My motto is that I won't sell anything that I won't live in. Okay. So you're never going to get a product that I'm not proud of. Because if I won't take me and my woman there, I ain't going to put you there either. And I don't care what level of the market it is. The idea is that I'm going to give you a Center City style home in East Mount Airy or wherever it is. Right. I'm going to make sure that you like the property. Right. And that's how we get by. That's why, during COVID-19, we sold a property in 4 days because there's nothing else like it in the area. Okay. Right? We're putting out product that people want and you can't get it in Cheltenham. There's not a ton of rehabbed homes. Right. So we go up there and we rehab a home and make it look like it should be placed somewhere else. We win. Right. Right. We did the same thing in East Mount Airy. We did the same thing in West Oak Lane. We're just trying to change the market. I just did it down my way too in Overbrook. Yeah. I was down in Overbrook. That was some of my first projects. I did Kimberly Road. I did something on. I want to say I did something on Woodbine. You just did something on Tustin. No, by the playground. What project? You just did off of 61st in Lancaster, 61st, 62nd in Lancaster. So no, the stuff that I was doing up there was for somebody else. Okay. I was up there working for other people. So I did last year and a little bit of the year before, I did 12 projects in the Haddington section, but they were rehabs for someone else. Okay. So that was just like a cash grab. That was like, you can build at 100 and whatever a square foot. We're paying 199 a square foot. Like, come get some money. That's what that was. None of those were my projects, but we were pumping those out. That was the first time where I went large scale and I was running, 10 projects at once. Okay. And bankrolling it because they were coming behind with the big checks. Right. So that wasn't me. I was out there working, but that wasn't me. Well, I could tell that was your signature on those, so so it still says a lot though about your work. Mean, I'm gonna put everything into every project. Doesn't matter if it's mine or not. Right. Like, lately I've been considering more and more going into third-party building, just rehabs, no new construction. New construction is a great deal of business, but I just don't want that. I don't want the responsibility. I don't want the liability. There's some people that I'm sure I'm going to do it for, but in the grand scheme of it, I'm a rehab master. Like, that's what I know. You can get in and out of those a lot faster. Right. I can get in and out of them. I know the margins on most 90% of the projects I do. I know what the margins are. I know where I need to be to make money. And I know the quality I'm giving out. There's some people that are like, he's a little too expensive. I'm a lot more expensive than a lot of people. But it's because it's going to be done. It's going to be done right. And you paying for that peace of mind, man. So I'm paying for the peace of mind. So people come to me. I had a situation recently where a guy hit me up like, yo, I want you to do some work. And I was like, yo, I'm going to be a lot higher than these other people. If they can do it for that number, I think you should use them. Because forget pure greed. Like, I want you to get what you want. But when you come to me, in order to get what you want, you do have to pay for it. I got to pay all my trades. I got to pay all the suppliers. I got to carry this loan. I got to do a bunch of things. So it's going to cost. And I don't know if it worked out or not yet. Like, I guess I'm in a balance. I don't know. But in the end, it's like I'm charging what I need to charge to make money and to make sure that these people are happy. And that's all I care about. Right? Because in the end, if they're happy and I made money or I didn't make money because I priced wrong or inappropriately, that's on me. But at the end of it, when I walk away, they're not going to call me back in a couple weeks. I'm not going to end up on Facebook or Instagram talking about I stole their money. Like, none of that's happening. Right. So my name is my name, and we're going to keep it there. There you go. There you go. What would you say is not better, but I guess preference-wise, like when talking to people? So, like, flips or rentals? Like, how do you balance that situation out? I mean, if I had to, it's definitely going to be rental. Flip is quick cash. It's cool. I mean, it's high tax, but rental's the money. Rental is wealth building, and I mean, I guess it's just two ways. I guess it's probably three ways. In renting, you're gaining equity. You're getting a second stream of income, or if you got 100 units, you got your 101 stream of income. But it's steady income. You're gaining equity in your property, and then you're rebuilding any community that you're going into. When you're flipping, you're just kind of in and out. You're not really building relationships. You're not really going to grow anything. And while you make $100,000 and say you do it in, I mean, I guess most people, I don't really know. I'd say they probably do projects in 3 to 4 months, realistically. So if you're doing a project in 4 months and then you're in that community for a short period of time, you sell your project, you're 8 months, you're out of it, or 6 months, you're out of it. Great, you made $100,000, but what is that $100,000 going to do for you? Are you going to flip it 10 times that year and get $1 million? Probably not. But if you put $100,000 into a rental property and you make, you know, $750 a month or whatever it is, whatever your profit margin ends up being, $600 a month, whatever it could be, right? If it's $500 a month, that's $6,000 a year in perpetuity, right? So now you're doing $6,000 a year from that one, but you end up with 10, then you're doing 60. You end up with, you know, 20, you're doing 120. So now that just keeps on going and growing. And that's securing not only yourself, but it's securing the future for the people that come behind you. Because in 20 years or probably less, you now own these properties outright. So in owning these properties outright, now you've got a nut that you don't have to get up and go to work for. Now you're not chasing like you do with flips. Because now you got to flip, you made some money, you got to pay 28% on it, unless you 1031 exchange it, which 99% of people aren't doing, especially the people that are age, because the money is just too hot. So now, because of it, you just end up with this small chunk of change that you got to keep on chasing,
spinning,
right? But with rental, that money's just coming. You're not chasing it, it's chasing you. And if you're a good landlord, you'll never have a problem leasing. Like, there's going to be people that come because they know it's your name. There's people that come to us based on, I mean, whatever our name is in the street. There's people that buy my properties based on my name in the street. So you do good work and good things come. So rental would definitely be the way. I would start out, if I was brand new now, I'd start out trying to build up some capital, so that you're not taking as much debt on. But yeah, I definitely say rental long term. If you want to be rich, if you want to be a millionaire, rental.
It's from the rentals.
For sure.
Definitely. And before they cut us off, we got a couple minutes, so we good. But before they cut us off, I always ask our guests, what are like your top 3 books that, you know, helped you or gave you motivation, you know, during your journey?
I can't say that I have 3. The one book that motivated me a whole bunch was The People's Principles, by R. Donahue Peoples. It was an awesome book, awesome read. Kind of gave you the game from his perspective, how he did it. The power of relationships is huge. Politically and non-political. So that was one of the books that kind of really got my gears turning. Like, yeah, this is the way I want to do things. This is how I want to grow.
The second one was The Power of Relationships?
No. That book showed me the power of relationships.
Oh, The Power of Relationships. Okay.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I think that's like a classic in the real estate business. And then I worked at Keller Williams for a little bit. And it was like The Millionaire Investor.
Right.
And I read that, and it's a lot of gems and jewels in that book that helped me along the way. But I mean, I don't do a whole bunch of reading. I like to say I do. I like to be one of those smart guys. Like, yo, I read 20 books a week. I don't. Like, most of the stuff that I got is hands-on. Right. Okay. I'm in the field. I'm talking to people. I'm meeting people that have absolutely nothing to do with real estate, but they're teaching me things about real estate just based on our interaction.
Right.
And then just talking to people, because even people that they're not as experienced as I am, they still have information that's valuable to me. And we bounce things off one another just in general conversation. Right. So I go out to dinner, I'm talking to people, I'm talking to strangers. I think that's the best way to gather information and to grow. And that's what I do. So more of what I know is from actually meeting people, learning from those people.
Right. Now, so that's networking. You're a master networker.
So I can't even say that. Just strangers. Because like networking events, I skip them joints. All of them.
but not it don't necessarily have.
Oh
to
yeah,
be,
overall networking. Yeah, I guess
yeah,
you could say
you
I
know,
do well networking.
or you mingle, you enjoy mingling.
Yeah, I just like mingling. I don't want to call it networking. I just like mingling with people.
He said, I
Because
ain't going to all of them networking events.
yeah, I can't do the networking just because it feels like it's forced. It's like going speed dating. Like I don't want to do that.
Like, yo,
I
I
want to have
missed you.
some
I'm gonna call you.
genuine.
I'm gonna call you. No, you're not
Right.
gonna
I
call
want it
me.
to be
You're not-
genuine. I want it to be more organic. Like I've met people, and I got a lot of friends that are popping up on here now. But
Oh no, they shouting you out. I see
right.
them.
But they're my friends because of me. Like I don't think I'm the coolest guy at all. People either like me or they don't.
Okay.
Ain't no in between. You ain't gonna meet nobody that's like, he's all right. Like I kind of like, nah. It's like they like me.
It's black or white.
Right. That's it. No gray area. And that's because I'm trying to be like 100% myself at all times.
Okay.
Right? So I'm going in and you know just making things happen. You meet me, this is who I am. There's some things that you're not going to like. There's some things you will. You take what you get from our conversation and you either use it or you don't. Because one way or the other, I'm going back to work. I'm going to do the things that I do. I'm going to try to be successful for the people I'm being successful for. That's it.
Okay.
And, you know, but I also separate business. And I think that's one thing that, I mean, young investors, young black investors, we just don't do. We can't separate business from, you know, just friendships and anything else. Like I can do business with a person I don't like. Because a lot of people like I can do business with somebody I don't like, that I don't care for. I'm just fine with it.
So from that standpoint, like it's not an ego thing.
No, it's not an ego. It's money. It's like we're all here to do one thing, right?
So
we're trying to make money.
I'm one of them people. I struggle with it. So like it takes me a while to get to the point where I can be like, all right, I'm over it or whatever the situation.
Yeah. There's a cost to that opportunity. There's a cost to that time that you waste, right? So if it's like we can do a deal, I deal with a bunch of wholesalers at this point, but I hate some of them. I'm like, yo, like you trying to make the same thing as me. I think that's every wholesaler. Like,
you know, Instagram and YouTube, they making it seem like, yo, it's the new wave.
It's like the no money down. I got $1,000 on this project that's on the MLS, and I'm gonna sell it to you. Like, yo,
20 grand more.
Right, I just saw it on the MLS. Like, what's up? Like, why are you calling me with this? And then it's like, so some of those things happen, but it's like, look, in order for me to make money, and people know I'm a little more expensive. My projects cost a little more for me to get done. So in order for me to make money on this project that you're trying to sell me for 125, that just was sent to me 15 minutes ago for 78, like I got to go for the 78.
Right.
So you got to be willing to take some of this risk if you want to make the big money as well.
Right.
So, but lo and behold, some of those same people that I dislike, they bought me deals that I made money on. And I'm willing to work with them again and again and again. You know what I mean?
As long as it make money, it makes sense. I got you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, the only people that I cut off are trades. And that's not an ego thing either. It's just like a time thing.
But that's the money making sense part because they're costing you money at that point.
Well, it's twofold, right? So if people that are working with me, right, and not being an ego thing, but people that are working with me, they end up getting other people to work with because of me, right?
Okay.
So I got an awesome HVAC guy. I'll share him with anybody. But let's just say the HVAC guy is like on the internet and I'm like, they're on my project. So now people think that they're like a trusted HVAC guy.
Right.
So then it's like they're taking on business, but they're fucking people over. And everybody's experience isn't going to be the same, but I don't let them get there. Right. So we did a project and we're going to do more if in fact it works out.
Right.
So there's people that have been with me that'll never be with me again. There's people that we've done things with, but that's why I don't play with the trades. It's like, you got to do your job. You got to do your thing. You got to be reliable. You got to be held accountable, or we're just not going to work together. So that short stint that we had together that you got, you know, whatever that rise might've been, is over. It's dead.
Right.
And anyone who asks me for a recommendation, I'm not going to bring up your name. I'm not going to dog you, but I ain't giving up your name.
But I'm not vouching for you. Right.
Right. And it's all just my own personal experiences. Right. So my experience with somebody could be terrible. Yours could be great.
Right.
But if they're coming from me and you're asking my opinion, I ain't got no recommendations. So, but you know, and that's why like people like if some people are using them, it's like automatic, like dang, you got to be good. Okay. Not necessarily always the case. And it's also management style. Like they might do good by me because I ain't giving them no money. They might do good by me because, you know, of a million other things. I don't know.
I got you. Case by case, man.
Right.
Nah, I appreciate that, and I definitely respect that, man. Before they cut us off, we got a few minutes left. But where can people find you? So, you know, for those who are new to you.
On Instagram. That's it.
Okay. And can you let the people know what your Instagram is?
People can find me on Instagram at I am Darren H. Aside from that, you can't really find me. I'm hiding out on a project. Right. If you see me in the street, I'll definitely talk to you. Any information that I have is free. You can have it. Whatever you do with it is, in fact, up to you. But yeah, I mean, I am Darren H. I answer some DMs, and I'm you know really hesitant to say that because there's a lot of DMs that I don't answer. Not because I don't want to, because I'm actually busy or I'm doing stuff. I respond though eventually. There's people that I respond to right away. There's people I don't, and it's not personal. So anybody who's on here, you know, if I don't get back right away, don't think that it's personal. I'm actually running around like a chicken with my head cut off for 90% of my day. And then I got a life to live as well. So, right. But I mean, I'm around, I'm on job sites. I'm meeting people as much as I can. When the world opens back up, I'm sure that, you know, we'll have the opportunity to kind of reconnect and convene with people. But until said time, you know, I'm
behind the scenes, man. I got you.
Yeah. And I mean, that came from that's part my fiance, she's like out of it, and then my partner as well, because they're on the scene for different things, but just like kind of the serious things, they're just like out of it, like in the dark. Like we're just doing what we do and just trying to be successful, trying to make things happen behind the veil. Right. Because there's a lot that goes on in order to make things go. I got a lot of help. I mean, the support of my partner, the support of my fiance, the support of my friends, the support of my family. That all makes a big difference because I am one crazy motherfucker. I got some stuff going on.
But now you gotta be, man. You gotta be in order to go through this, man, and to keep doing it. So, man, like I said, I definitely salute. That's why I wanted to get you on here, because like I said, I've been watching you, following you, and I always hear good reviews. I mean, we got that award last year together with Better Than Success. I mean, I was honored to be on that panel with you and some of the other folks. So it's like, yo,
indeed,
keep doing what you're doing. I definitely appreciate you, man. They're getting ready to cut us off. For anybody out there, hit the link in my bio, Real Estate 100, the teen and millennial investment blueprint. Boom. You know, trying to teach the youth, man, trying to let them know, look, you can figure it out, man. You can figure it out. But other than that, like I said, definitely appreciate you, man, and wishing you and your family nothing but success. Tune in. We'll be doing this again next week, y'all. Every Thursday, 8 p.m., man. Anything else you want to let them know? We got a minute and 30 seconds left. So if you want to drop them any other gym or just any other motivation.
Listen, work hard. Don't give up. Do as much research as you possibly can. And pay attention to the people that you see winning. Not the people who are talking about it, but just pay attention to the people you see winning. Not everybody's winning. This is a game that, you know, can make or break you at any given time. So be careful, pay attention, good deals, ask questions. Don't be afraid to reach out to anybody. It doesn't really matter who it is. And I mean, listen, shake hands, kiss babies. I got 2 people of all the people that I want to actually meet in person that I think are crushing things. I'm going to meet those people. I'm not going to say who they are now, but there's 2 women at that I want to meet that are awesome, that are crushing it, and I'm going to meet them.
Okay.
And, like, it's just going to happen, but it's one of those things where, like I say to anybody, I'm still trying to meet people. I'm still talking to people. I think that everyone should, because the more information that you can get about this business and in this business from people in the business, I think the better success you'll have.
And I definitely appreciate you, man. We got 10 seconds left, so thank you again, people.
Listen, no problem. I'll see you out in the field, brother.
For sure, man. Keep doing your thing, man, and thank you again.
Again, have a good night.